All right, looks like we're heading over to Ultra League now. We've got the teams here for KaiserTener and Beach. You want to take us off with Kaiser's team?
Absolutely. So for Kaiser's team, we have Steelix, we have Como. Whew, that's a tough one. And then we got
Surfetched.
Yeah, Surfetch. We got the Punch Bug himself, Excavalier, the Shadow Dragonite, and Napoleon, a return player. We have a bands on Mandibuzz and Mew.
And down over on Beach's side, he's got that Alolan Muck, the Empoleon, the Driftblim, the Venusaur, the Escavalier also, and a Politoed. And his the bands that KaiserTener put against Beach were his Togekiss and his Shadow Nidoqueen, reducing a little bit of that fast move pressure. And also shout out to Beach for banning Kaiser's Mew. Probably saved him 50 TMs this week.
Absolutely. You're going to have to either go into an elite TM or just pray for the best when you're going through all your stacks of TMs.
Looking at these teams, I mean, both teams, we have some. They both have an Escavalier as a fighter. Both of them have some kind of flying type. We have the Shadow Dragonite versus the Drifblim. Politoed here as kind of an anti-flyer. Probably again. Oh, it's a little tougher on this matchup. In the Great League, it was very clear they were probably running that Earthquake, even though it didn't end up coming into these games. In this one, Earthquakes helps you with the Empoleon and the Steelix, but if you don't have that Blizzard, you have no play against Dragonite. So that's pretty rough situation for Beach trying to bring Politoed.
Absolutely, and as I've mentioned before, I'm a big fan of that Shadow Dragon Breath damage. Like I absolutely love using those Shadow Dragon types. I'm really excited to see if Como makes an appearance on the field today, because with that Dragon Tail, that close combat, I can really hit that Empoleon if need be, and it also can do that. Close combat can do a decent amount of damage against these other Pokemon as well. The Pokemon that'll kind of fight back, or will be that Driftblim, that Venusaur, which is also pretty bulky. So I'm excited to see how these Pokemon match up.
Yeah, we see a couple steel types there on the team, but their secondary typings help them resist a little bit, but close combat does just a lot of damage, and so that Como does look like it's a pretty safe pickup here. Would not be surprised to see Kaiser bring that one quite a bit.
Absolutely, and come on, Politoed, I believe in you. Let's do it. I really want to see Politoed on the field, so hopefully we can get to see that today. And then also another Pokemon I also really enjoy using. It's a little bit glassy, but that Sire Fetch with that counter damage as well, and that Night Slash and the Leaf Blade.
Surfetch it's another Pokemon we talked about in the previous matchup that has that move set flexibility that really helps in that format.
Exactly.
Can be running Leaf Blade, can be running Night Slash, can be running Close Combat, can be running Brave Bird. Just a lot of kind of scary things it can be throwing out there. In this matchup, it doesn't look like there's anything on Beach. Well, I guess the Alolan Muck is the only thing that resists Night Slash. That feels like a pretty safe bait move. Also gives you that boost chance, but then would not be surprised to see something like a Brave Bird to try to blow out some matchup. Surfetch can really threaten those shields.
Exactly.
But yeah, if you bring that Shadow Dragonite and that Surfetch, you probably want something bulky like maybe the Steelix back there, because your Pokemon not a lot of HP and you only get those 2 shields.
Oh yeah, like glass cannon right there. So I'm definitely excited to see how these Pokemon match up. Like I said before, come on, Politoed, I want to see you on the field.
Yeah, it definitely has some good matchups here. Might have some more play here than Great League, but I think we have those battles ready, and also our casters to take it away.
Oh, and here we go.
We're going to get right into it. The Sire is with a Y, just so that we're all aware. Sire is with a Y and has an E at the end.
What?
But
what are you talking about? Anyway.
We
see.
Go on.
Yeah. We see Muck sporting the Poison Jab fast move, which is doing quite a bit of damage against this Surfetch, and will throw the Acid Spray so that it's doing even more. But the Surfetch has quite a surprise in store.
I don't know if you've ever played with Surfetch in Ultra League, but when no one believes in it,
oh my God,
you land those Brave Birds and just nuke everything out of the sky. It's so beautiful.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, incredible play. Throwing that Brave Bird, knowing that almost no one in their right mind suspects it. But in Ultra League, it's actually amazing. And we see a quick swap from both Quasar, and no, wait, those are not
sorry.
the right
New names. I'll get those names up there properly. My
We
bad.
see a quick swap into Dragonite and Drifblim. Dragonite has to shield these the Shadow Dragonite especially has to shield the icy winds from this Drifblim. Does put up both shields. KaiserTener puts up both shields to protect the Dragonite and this energy because it is doing an absolutely insane amount of damage.
Absolutely. That Shadow Dragonite, Dragon Breath Shadow version is so good. Oh, no shield. Beach is just not calling it.
Oh
Beach
my
is
gosh.
just not calling it right now.
I mean, the superpower is neutral damage actually onto the Escavalier, but now this aerial ace of all moves is going to put this Dragonite down for the count. And now we have an interesting choice ahead of KaiserTener here.
I like the call with the Brave, bringing back the Surfetch because he has that counter against that Steel. You want to put that extra typing down. That way you're just not letting your Steelix just get whooped.
Yeah.
And you're also bringing in, oh, he gets it!
Oh.
Thunderfang! It's Thunderfang, which is huge,
Steelix.
right?
Oh
Two
my
water
gosh.
Pokemon and this Flying Ghost. You have access to Crunch and to Psychic Fang. So absolutely, the Thunderfang is huge here. But Mystic Fire was given to the Drifblim.
Yes, Mystical Fire was given to Drifblim, which is an incredible move to have against the Steelix because not only is the Fire really great neutral attack pressure, but it actually debuffs the Steelix as well. But it doesn't really matter because that Thunderfang is absolutely chunking.
You can't even see what you're hitting or what's getting hit with Thunderfang. It just flashes everywhere. There should be a seizure warning on it. A great move there by bringing the Thunderfang onto the Steelix. But that's what you love about factions. You can change it up until that first matchup, but now we know what Thunderfang is. Now we're going to see how these battles played out. And as you see, Beach adjusts and gets the call here on Escavalier onto that Steelix, and Dragonite now gets to deal with this Drifblim. Drifblim rocking both the Icy Wind and Mystical Fire that come at the same amount of time. So we could play mind games with anybody now.
And both are debuffing moves, which is really great pressure to have against this Shadow Dragonite since its main usage focuses around its high damage point. And it does have to give up, again, all of the shields. I feel like it's going to give up all of the shields to protect the insane amount of damage that it is capable of.
Yeah, and the Dragonite having to give up the shield might mean that Kaiser's got to figure out a game plan of how he's going to sacrifice it. Because remember, that's an Escavalier with energy in the back. He cannot give this up, or Steelix is just not going to have a fun time. And it looks like that's where we're going with this.
Yeah, we do see KaiserTener give up the last shield to protect an absolutely insane amount of energy on that Dragonite, and then a quick swap into their own Escavalier. So we have an Escavalier face-off, but Beach does still have a shield in play. KaiserTener does not.
Right, and now the energy, this is really great by Kaiser. All that energy is now off Beach's Escavalier, which you're worried. And if you notice, Kaiser's got Acid Spray instead of Mega Horn or Aerial Ace. So we'll see how that plays out with this Escavalier. Maybe he's still running his Escavalier from Fossil Cup.
Yeah, and we do see Beach try to get the opposing Escavalier out of the way by throwing the Drill Run and trying for that quick swap into their Venusaur. This Venusaur, I don't think, is going to have a great time.
No, Venusaur is not going to like anything because the Dragonite left with a little bit of energy, but it still has to worry about that Dragon Breath. So shield or no shield, like I don't know what the second move is. If Crunch procs for the debuff right now, you're in trouble. If that's Psychic Fang on, okay, it's Earthquake. But if
it is the Earthquake.
Woo, thank God. Because an Earthquake can KO as well, but a Psychic Fang against that Poison typing and debuffing it as well won't love those Dragon Breaths. But the Crunch doesn't go off. There's no debuff, and here comes Venusaur.
And we do see the Beach's Venusaur absolutely overcharging on energy because it knows that that Dragonite is lurking in the back with a ton of energy. So even if this Steelix does not have its latest update of Psychic Fangs, like it can still put on a lot of good pressure, but absolutely needs to make room for that Dragonite in the end. And now we do see the Dragonite from KaiserTener coming out to immediately throw the Dragon Claw and getting the last shield from Beach.
Walk away with the shield, not on my time. I'm Dragon Breathing it down, but the energy's there. The Sludge Bomb goes through and the Dragonite will go back to the Pokeball.
Oof, and the Steelix did not have any energy for a second move, so Beach making quite a few great adjustments there and securing another point for the Chicago Stars.
Yes, I will take that back. Fossil Cup does not allow 2,500. This is the Ultra League. Thank you, Frostfire, for reminding me that this is Ultra League. I just automatically assume everything is Great League. But for getting Dragonite into Drifloon, and again, this is Beach making the call and getting it here. But will the swap happen? Because look at that, there's a Como now. And
yeah, I mean, neither one of the backline Pokemon from KaiserTener wants to see this Drifblim at all. So all of their moves are going to be heavily resisted. So I do think that the shields on the Dragonite is going to be the play again. Absolutely, we see an insane amount of energy once again. KaiserTener charges up on this Dragonite.
And this is a great adjustment by Kaiser. He sees it. Now, he understands that if he can just keep pressuring with the damage, with the Dragon Breathing, the shield, and we've seen it before, his opponent doesn't know how strong Drifblim is. This could actually be a great play to, instead of making a quick swap or anything like that, staying with it.
Oh, he's gonna let it go this time. Going to choose to save a shield for his back Pokemon, knowing that he can get a little bit of extra energy on this Como-O, which is sporting its Dragon Tail fast attack as opposed to counter.
Brilliant play by letting it go, understanding he can get 3 taps in, and Drifblim needs about 4 to get to the next Icy Wind. Como now releases the close combat and makes the swap.
Goodness,
amazing.
That is a good amount of energy off of this Escavalier, but now Beach's Escavalier does have the energy to throw this first drill run and does get the last shield from KaiserTener.
It has been incredible to watch this matchup. Now, the Acid Spray has not been revealed yet, and we're going straight for the drill run. Will he get the final shield? No.
No, I mean, the drill run is good neutral damage against Venusaur, but Beach knows that Venusaur can absolutely take one non-stab attack from this Escavalier. And now we do see the Acid Spray being thrown onto the Venusaur, trying to get the last shield because it could have been another drill run, but does not. Beach absolutely calling it.
2 Sludge Bombs, almost 2 Sludge Bombs ready to go on Venusaur. As the first one goes off, I'm very confused why does Sludge Bomb actually hit harder than Frenzy Plant in this matchup?
I mean, no.
Right? Like, I know Frenzy Plant, you're like, why am I throwing grass into this?
Yeah, Frenzy Plant is double resisted, whereas I think Sludge Bomb is only single resisted. So yeah, it's kind of a tough call there from Peach to bringing in that Venusaur, which just did not have any room to maneuver in that last matchup.
Hoping for a better matchup, you know, hoping for some more damage, extra damage.
I mean, maybe he thought the Farfetch'd was going to come back, or I'm sorry, not Farfetch'd, the Surfetch'd, the Knighted Fetched.
The Saya Fetch, the Saya Fetch.
Maybe he thought that was going to come back and he would bead that Sludge Bomb damage, or, I mean, the Frenzy Plant damage too, as well, because Surfetch'd is not a very bulky Pokemon. Yeah. So yeah, Venusaur just didn't have much maneuverability there, but we do see an interesting matchup now. The Shadow Dragonite comes back out from KaiserTener. It's been his star player so far, but the Alolan Muck actually doing quite a bit of neutral damage with these poison jabs once again.
I think with the introduction of all these drill runs to everything, people kind of missed out on what Alolan Muck can do, and it's a great Ultra League neutralist. And with the poison too, as you see, putting down the pressure and makes the swap. But here's the thing, this poison will actually affect if there is no shield. and it's Acid Spray. I'm sorry, I thought it was Sludge Wave. My mistake. I got excited on a poison.
That's actually a really great call from Beach. I mean, you could have preserved all that energy on the Muck, but why do that when you can debuff instead? And so now this Como-O actually in a pretty tough position against the Drifblim.
Now we know Kaiser loves shielding his Dragonite, doesn't love shielding the Como. Debuffed on the defense, now debuffed on the attack. Can he get one more? Can Beach get it in right before he can?
Just barely cannot get to that attack before it is hexed down by Beach's Drifblim. And now that Dragonite has a lot of energy. You bring that back in, but the Drifblim also has energy to match and will be able to throw the first move.
Oh my goodness. This Drifblim is so oppressive here in the Ultra League.
Yeah.
And it's shiny too.
Yeah, the debuffs alone are worth their weight in gold in the Ultra League, where everything is much tankier.
Yeah.
But we do see Beach choose, now that the Drifblim has gotten that debuff attack off, Beach chooses to let it go, and Dragonite has a little bit of energy, but does a quick swap into the Surfetched against this Alola Muck, which will now be able to throw another Acid Spray.
Absolutely, and it's just going to debuff it. And great on Kaiser for remembering, oh, this is Acid Spray. The problem is he's now debuffed the counters. A brilliant move here by the Muck user to be able to get that debuff going on.
This is a great play from KaiserTener, throwing the bait here, knowing that Brave Bird has been revealed, that Beach will suspect it's coming out to play, and instead throwing these Night Slashes, searching for the boost to reverse the debuff from earlier.
For the love of God, help him!
Help me, sir!
Help me, sir!
But now Dragonite comes back out and does have another shield to protect against this Escavalier, and is going to be able to get to the Dragon Claw. Is this going to be enough? I mean, Escavalier's not that tanky, even in Ultra. Yeah, just gets that really nice and quick out of the way and able to Dragon Breath the Alolan Muck down. Wow. Goodness gracious. Such good adjustments on both sides across the battles we've seen so far.
It really has been in-game macro plays. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm just seeing NEB really rely on Dragon Breath. It's just been really oppressive. Of both matchups, I've seen the Dragon Breath coming out real heavy. And oh my goodness! Both of these battlers came out with Empoleons. They're like, we haven't used this in a minute.
It's so funny because they've both been using so many fighters, right? You'd think that Empoleon would be the last thing that either one of them wanted to bring out, but no, they're gonna celebrate here with Penguin on Penguin.
Violence! They're like Empoleon and Empoleon violence. Unfortunately for Beach, as he tried to get in fast move deny, that Hydro or Waterfall did go through, but the Hydro Unit comes in and both battlers are even in energy. And the swap to bring in the Surfetch to counter down. And this is the money, right? This is where you farm down and then throw that Brave Bird on a Venusaur. Pelipper, what is this in the back? The Drifblim.
This is not Fossil Cup, so stop thinking that it's Fossil Cup. So yes, we do see the Brave Bird now coming out from this Surfetch, but will get shielded from the opposing Drifblim. Great shield call from Beach.
And that's a kind of an easy one to call because both moves, the Night Slash and the Brave Bird, are effective on this Surfetch. And letting it, Kaiser understanding that, just going for the nuke, going for broke to get the shield or do the damage. Then got debuffed, lets his Surfetch come down, and Empoleon comes back to add some more energy.
Yeah, and Empoleon comes in with some energy already stored and is able to get to the Hydro Cannon first against this Drifblim. This is going to do a lot of great neutral damage, but Drifblim now has a Mystical Fire ready.
I mean, ready, roaring, and firing. Bam! But it's not enough.
Oh, it's just barely not enough to knock out the Empoleon. So KaiserTener swaps out very quickly, preserving just a little bit of extra health on that Empoleon for a potential sack swap later, and now is going to employ that tried and true strategy of Dragonite with the last shield.
it's been working. It's worked for him all matchups, saving the shields on Dragonite, saving the shields for this drag, even in the lead, giving the Dragonite the shield. And what has Dragonite come and done? Brought that Dragon Breath in the superpower, and with all that, dominated this matchup.
But is this superpower enough to knock out the Escavalier? It still has a good amount of health. Oh, it is enough here in the end game, but this Drifblim is still fairly healthy and is going to be able to get to the move, but not before the Dragonite wins that charged move priority event.
That is a huge play right there, giving Kaiser the win again. And now, Kaz, it's 8-2. We are just 2 matches in. This is, I mean, yes, every matchup has 5 battles, so you know where they're strong in UL and Great League, they might be weak in the fields, but the fields are matches and using Pokemon that we've seen in numerous amounts of seasons. So I don't expect them to be that big of a weakness, but it's definitely going to be tough to get back out of this 6-hole deficit.
Yeah, I mean, we still have a lot of points left to go, but they've absolutely dominated in the open leagues, and it'll be really interesting to see what the strategy is going into the Master League. I think we got to kick it back to our analysts.
Yes, we do. This was the last. That was the last matchup of that tournament.
I think we got to kick it back to them and see what they see in the Master League rotation.
We are going to do.
Awesome Ultra League matchup. You called it. Shadow Dragonite. Shadow Dragonite just coming out and doing work in those games. I mean, that last game, the triple kill for Shadow Dragonite to close out the game, the really big Dragon Claw bait setting up that superpower lethal. Kaiser just bringing the glass and firing the cannons.
Absolutely. Beautifully said. And especially with the Surfetch. There's just some Pokemon that I'm just like, how do you wait? Not Sire Fetch, but the Surfetch coming in right off the bat with that Brave Bird, and then Brave Bird and get out of there. That was really cool to see, just like how much like damage that just obliterated, right? And that was really cool to see that. And then we gotta talk about it. Thunderfang Steelix. Thunderfang Steelix.
I mean, he looked at this matchup and you can see like Dragon Tail's resisted by the Empoleon, it's resisted by the Escavalier. Thunderfang's super effective against Empoleon, super effective against Drifblim, super effective against Politoed, and only resisted by that Venusaur that's, not that bad of a matchup anyway when you have Psychic Fangs and Crunch. So yeah, the Thunderfang Steelix, the pretty spicy kind of move mix up there, definitely helping out in the earlier games in that series.
Definitely, yeah. That was a really great one. One thing I wanted to say, like these battlers have been really embracing the spirit of Pokemon with gotta catch them all, making some incredible catches on some of those moves. Like it's some of these things. Like I'm over here enjoying this. I'm like, oh my gosh, that was amazing. Like I totally would have just shielded that. But these Pokemon, like I said before, trusting their Pokemon, knowing what moves they can take, what moves they can dish out, and then the proper move timing. All those little things that make these battles so intense and so incredible.